The week of Brady's return to Foxborough as general manager Tom Brady signed corner Richard Sherman to a one-year contract. And while that's not officially Brady's title, Sherman said on his podcast that it was Brady's recruitment that brought him to Tampa, as opposed to returning to his former clubs, Seattle or San Francisco, both who reportedly showed major interest. Richard Sherman is a Hall of Famer. He is 100% a first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, he's not playing at the level that he was at when he carved out his Hall of Fame career, but he was solid last year for the 49ers. And it goes noted, San Francisco wanted him back. This is huge for the Bucs. Their only area of weakness, in my opinion, the defensive backfield, and it's been compromised by injury. The Rams shredded Tampa on Sunday. And of course, there's a ton of Patriots and Seahawks history making this even more delicious, ranging from the Super Bowl to the "You Mad Bro" Sherman versus Brady one-way chat. Of course, the irony isn't lost, right? Brady was beyond ready to leave New England after 20 glorious years of unprecedented genius, in part because he wanted more talent around him. Now he has it, and whatever he wants in Tampa Bay. They exist to make him happy. They exist to win a Super Bowl, like last year, at all costs. Just another example of how everything is coming up Brady since the divorce. That was a flat-out gigantic win by the Yankees last night to extend their lead on top of the AL wildcard standings. How about my guy, Giancarlo Stanton? Wow, are you kidding me? Stanton is on fire. Feels like the MVP Marlins version of Giancarlo Stanton, hitting bombs and moonshots. And Stanton homered his fourth straight game last night, tattooing one into the second deck. Stanton is having a sensational September. The main reason why the Yankees aren't saving their season. The American League wildcard standings are just that, wild. It's going to equal a high drama down the stretch in the final 5 days of the season. Aaron Boone talked postgame about keeping the blinders on, not focusing on the standings, and listen, with Garrett Cole versus Jose Berrios tonight, that's an outstanding pitching matchup. But I expect the Yankees to win this game, and that would be huge. And how about the Yankees getting breathing room thanks to the Red Sox losing to the pathetic Baltimore Orioles? Baltimore beat Chris Sale in comeback fashion, which is flat out hilarious if you're a Yankees fan like me. And how about the Seattle Mariners? Somehow very much alive, trailing Boston by a half game, thanks to their piping hot play down the stretch. And how about the fact that the Mariners have beat the A's head-to-head in 11 straight games? You realize Seattle has a minus 50 run differential this year, and they're in it. Think about that. Yankees are going to make it, but they need home field, and they need to wrap it up now, sooner than later, to give Stanton and give Aaron Judge a breath before Tuesday's wild card game. They got to take care of business, but all bets are off for Boston. Identity? What identity? Actually, Mike Tomlin, I think the panic button would be appropriate. The Pittsburgh Steelers are dreadful, and this is not a surprise. We said all offseason the Pittsburgh Steelers would finish in last place in the division, and that we expected Cincinnati to beat them last week, which they did, because the Bengals are better than Pittsburgh, with the better quarterback. Pittsburgh isn't close to being in the same class as Cleveland or Baltimore. This is the residue of awful design. And look, if you're a Steeler fan, hide your eyes at these nuggets of futility on your screen. Steelers on offense, it's grotesque. This is an eyesore. The Steelers' offensive line is terrible. The receivers can't catch a cold. Bringing back Juju Smith-Schuster with his sideshow act made no sense. Oh, and Big Ben is shocked. We said it last week before the Cincy game that this was like Willie Mays falling down in center field with the Mets at the end of his career. And Ben literally fell down last week. He can't throw. He's averaging a sickly 6.1 yards per pass attempt over his last 8 games, going back to last year, including the postseason. He's lost 6 of those 8 games. And that's why, first guess here, Pittsburgh needed to move on from him after the 2020 campaign. This is why they needed to sign Jameis Winston before the 2020 campaign, as we first guessed, or draft a quarterback either year. That's why you couldn't take a running back in round 1. I love Najee Harris, love him. But a first-round running back is a cherry on top of a championship Sunday. The Steelers aren't close. I feel terrible for the amazing, great, loyal, passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. The organization has let you down. They've been on Planet Delusional for a very long time. And Aaron Rodgers is going to torch this football team on Sunday. LeBron and Russ are going to be spectacular together this season. I love the comments. I love the trade. I love the marriage. And I love what LeBron said yesterday, talking about how Russ is someone responsible for pushing the envelope, pushing the ball up the court, Energizer Bunny. He's going to get AD, get LeBron easy shots, and how he's an unbelievable rebounder. He's an incredible passer, in addition to being a walking bucket. That's who Russell Westbrook is. I mean, another season, he averages a triple-double. What he's also going to do is he's going to help the Lakers get the 1 seed. I know that might sound a little crazy, but LeBron could use a break in terms of maybe not playing on a back-to-back or not playing every single game in the course of the season. Anthony Davis is going to get hurt. He's an unbelievable superstar. He's going to get hurt. Russ will always be there. You want the 1 seed. You want home playoff games. You want the Western Conference Finals in LA. Staples Center. So you don't have to go to Utah. Don't have to go to Phoenix or anywhere else. Russell Westbrook is a dream for LeBron, a dream for the Lakers, and the Lakers are going to win a championship this season. I don't care what Jerry Jones says. Mike McCarthy's clock management has been very concerning so far this season. I mean, let's be honest. It's the only cause for concern. And, Mike McCarthy has no idea what on earth he's doing, and not stopping the clock here made no sense. Should have called the timeout after 2nd down. You certainly could have called it after 3rd too. The ref practically begged him to call the timeout. It went over to him, expecting it. I mean, read this board. I mean, look at this. I mean, the opportunity on Monday night to get an extra possession at the end of the first half, and he completely bots the end of the Charger game now. Greg Zuerlein in week 2 bailed him out with that game-winning field goal. And obviously they bludgeoned the Dallas Cowboys bludgeoned the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday night. They're going to win the division going away. No question about that, by multiple games, as we said at the beginning of the season. But Dallas should be thinking Super Bowl. And if they're going to make the Super Bowl or make a legit Super Bowl run, a big playoff push in the postseason, Mike McCarthy must do a better job in game, because when you're going up against the likes of Sean McVay or Bruce Arians or Sean Payton or Kyle Shanahan in a big spot, if you don't have your I's dotted and your T's crossed, you're dead on arrival. And Jerry's going to have no choice but to make a coaching change at the end of the year. Hey, Aaron Rodgers, what do you think of Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin? Needless to say, Aaron Rodgers thinks very highly of Mike Tomlin. Rodgers, of course, a guest on Mad Dog Sports Radio on Pat McAfee's outstanding show. And yeah, everyone in Pittsburgh kind of was grooving on this because, as we talked about earlier in the show tonight, I mean, obviously, Pittsburgh needed to make a quarterback change years ago. And Mike Tomlin is going to have his first losing season ever in Pittsburgh. And Aaron Rodgers is going to change teams at the end of the year, going to force a trade. And certainly the Pittsburgh Steelers need a quarterback for next year. So it's not crazy to extrapolate, even though I still think Aaron Rodgers is going to end up with the Denver Broncos. But those comments about Mike Tomlin certainly made everyone in Pittsburgh kind of sit up a little straighter, pay attention, because everyone's going to want Aaron Rodgers. And listen, I think that Steelers fans are going to get a real taste of how majestic, if you didn't know already, how majestic Rodgers is. I mean, he's already beat him in the Super Bowl, but how majestic Aaron Rodgers is when he lights him up like a Christmas tree in December on CBS on Sunday.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.